like I said before, he was the only one out of the 3 fighters that got asked, that took the fight, and he took it at a moment's notice. So yeah, big respect to Andres Campos. I'm donning my Team Campos shirt. We did a little football swap in the change room. Even though I do speak a lot, I talk a lot on fight week, you have to understand I'm very, very aggy. So yeah, enjoyed it. No, I knew he'd be good. Like, I'd watched him before, and I knew he had quick hands, and he was tough, and he would keep going. I feel like he was allowed to get away with a lot in the inside. With he was holding my lead hand constantly, even after the ref was saying break. For whatever the reason, the ref thought I was leaving my arm, and I was trying to show that he was still holding on, gripping it on. His elbow as well found the side of my head quite a few times, in his head. But look, it's boxing. You know, maybe a stricter ref would have been a bit more harsher on him and broke up the fight a little bit more and gave me a bit more room to work and made him stop doing so many sort of, I don't know, dark arts tactics. But like I said, he was coming to change his life, and I had to, you know, for my life, my family, my legacy, I had to make sure he didn't do that.
You already have the fight agreed for October. You confident in the next now?
Well, I mean, I've agreed every opponent. So the way me and Eddie, we did business was I'll fight any of them. And them, everyone knows who them are. There's the standard fights, you know, Sonny Edwards versus Campos, whoever. We've got a plan for that, but neither me or Eddie want those fights. For me, you know, underwhelming opponent won't get the best out of me in the camp, won't get the best out of me on fight week, won't get the best out of me in the ring. So I want the biggest fights. I want to, you know, get goosebumps going to bed 3-4 weeks before the fight because of the event, the stage, the platform. And yeah, I think now it's up to Eddie. You know, I think he's had a hard job. He's confident in the next 2 weeks that we're going to get Bam over the line. I was told, I was confident that he was going to be here today. The face-to-face was going off, and it was all going to, you know what I mean? I've agreed my side for Bam. I've agreed my side for Martinez. Even some other champions at other weights, I've agreed my path with Eddie. I feel like it was a great fight week. I love being a part of, you know, the biggest platform and the biggest promoter in world boxing. I felt every single bit of the build-up. I felt every bit of the sort of media and the exposure, running around with Eddie on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it was, doing all the BBC and the talk sport was sort of surreal for me. Yeah, like I said, really enjoyed it. Really glad to be a part of it. And I want to thank everyone for waiting up till, you know, midnight to come and speak to me now.
He's responded to the match tweet of you speaking to the camera saying, let's go. Do you think he's the sort of fighter who will win it? So he's taken out all the other chances?
Yeah, but I feel like the same thing always happens. It's for whatever reason, they want so much to fight me. I don't know why. I've knocked out 4 people out of 20 wins. Okay, I don't ever really look like losing. Yeah, there might have been some flaws or holes or opening, but I think real fighters know that I'm giving them to them. And I'm just standing there, just sitting, riding shots. Obviously, some are going to get through. I'm a target. The fighters are throwing 5, 6, 7, 8 punch combinations, really trying to whip them in. But I take away their danger. I sort of suck away their soul. And then you could see every time I wanted to open up the gap, just pick clean shots. There's no way any of those judges could have scored those rounds against me. And I think the top fighters know how I get in the ring for them. And, yeah, I still think they're weary. I don't know if I'm as confident as Eddie is for getting these... you know, this fight over the line in the next 2 weeks, but October, November, December, end of the year, as long as I can have my Christmas and my January, my birthday, New Year's Day with my kids and my family, yeah, I'm ready to go whenever, wherever.
Something you mentioned sitting and riding shots. Would you obviously adopt a different game plan for someone like Bam Rodriguez?
100%. I adopt a different game plan pretty much for everyone. Obviously, I'm applying my identity to the ring. But as soon as I got in there, I felt that the punches weren't that heavy. I'd been in with much bigger punches. And like I said, I did have that ambition to try and hurt him and try and walk him onto something, try and get him a bit more tired and find him downstairs. I was invested in the first half of the fight, in the first maybe 8, 9 rounds to the body. But then Grant put me on manners. He put me on mission and said, look, just go out there, don't give him nothing the last few rounds. Just keep picking the headshots, keep making him miss, because in that middle space, he couldn't get near me. So, yeah, I was under instruction. Like I said before, there's a reason Grant is the trainer of the year. So, as much as Eddie was telling me, no, I'd get him out of there, I've got to listen to my trainer. That's what's got me here, and that's what will keep getting me there.
Have we seen your style sort of evolve or develop a little bit, change since you moved to natural?
I don't know. I think my last few fights, ever since I became a world champion, I do enjoy actually having a fight. I think people see me boxing, and yeah, it might get frustrating for the people that want me to lose, but at the same time, you know, that's become so monotonous for me that it kind of gets boring when I have to do that. But like I said, I've trained with Grant since I was 18 years old. I moved to Sheffield for university and being on Team G originally, and I really linked up with Grant 9 years later. from 18 to 27. We're still here. We're still going strong. So yeah, I trust him. I trust him with my whole career. I know if I ever need saving, he'll be the man to do it. I know he's got his heart in there with me and his soul in there with me. So, you know, it'd be stupid of me not to trust his word. And just like he said in the corner, he counted the rounds that they would have scored against me. He looked at the scorecards after, and he was bang on with every single one.
Do you have to change your style a bit for the other champions, Martinez and Rodriguez, do you think? Do you need to add something else to your game?
I don't know about add. Probably just give him less chance. Stay more switched on. But the danger is higher, and my adrenaline goes up. My IQ goes up. My everything goes up. The ante's up, so I make sure that I don't make the mistakes. I don't get caught with them silly shots. You know, I'm dropping my hands and I'm offering my chin. He weren't really taking it. Like I said, I was trying to walk him onto a few shots and let a few go, but he showed that he was really tough in there. He showed that, you know, he could probably give as good as he could get, but he just didn't get to the target. Nowhere near enough to be world champion tonight.
We were close to doing the deal this week, to be honest.
Then?
We didn't get there, and he was going to fly over, and we were going to do the head-to-head in the ring, but we couldn't get the deal done. We're very close, and he's tweeted. I mean, you know, I know that obviously we've still got to get it done, but he was the first to reply to the tweet saying, let's do it. And I genuinely believe he wants to do the fight. Robert Garcia knows it's a very tough fight. It is a tough fight. It's a 50-50 fight, I think. You know, two fantastic fights, but it's a pound-for-pound great fight. And I'm really confident we can get it done in the next 2 weeks, maybe even by the end of this week. Yes.
So, arguably, you and Bam are probably...
Sorry, everyone. That's disgusting, sorry. I'm just wiping it with my foot.
You and Bam are probably the most two best in the division.
Was that because I said it was a 50-50 fight?
Yeah, it made me sick, Eddie. What the fuck?
However, you're definitely the two most marketable in the division. So why the haste to make this fight next rather than to have it?
Oh, don't.
Come on. What question is that?
That's the
Meant to be a
problem with
boxing
boxing.
fan.
Yeah, but that's the problem with boxing. Yeah, but fuck that. Well, that's the problem with boxing. It's like marinate. Wait.
I've been waiting. Sorry, Eddie. I've been waiting for so long. Eddie knows how long. As soon as I won my world title, I wanted Martinez next. You know what I mean? Seeing what happened, the whole story. You know what I mean? Eddie signing him after my brother. I wanted him next. So I've wanted the big fight straight away. I didn't want to him. Like, them fights are never going to get the best of me. I've been waiting now. What is that, my 5th world title fight? I'm 27 years old. I don't even think I'm at the peak yet. I think I'm still going and going. But Bam makes perfect sense. I want to be a great. I want to be perceived as a great. I want to go down as a great in British boxing history. If I beat Bam, if I beat the Martinez, go up weight, there's Roman Gonzalez, Estradas, Quadras. There's so many names there that I want to sink my teeth into. So no, I don't want 3 more fights to warm into it, 3 more headlines. No, I don't. I want Bam now or Martinez now. If not, get me another world champion. I want more legacy. I want more great fights, big events. I don't want to be in mediocre events. And for me, unfortunately, as the headline, I'm underwhelmed by Edwards versus Campos. I said that in the whole build-up. I said that because no one knew who he was except me because he's been in my DMs for so long. Do you know what I mean? I want the fights that you lot all know before because they've been getting built up for the last 2-3 years. Every single fight I've had so far, 20-0, it's been Sonny Edwards versus someone that has no marketability, no platform. Even when I won my world title, Maruti was just the most avoided, most unknown, greatest fighter of his generation. It's frustrating for me. I need a dance partner. I need someone that I can sit at a press conference and not have a translator going da, 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 and him not replying. I need something to really sink my teeth into. I need to, you know, ruffle a few feathers. I need to catch the limelight, catch the attention to really make everyone interested in the fight. So when I do get in there, 120, 108 someone, then all your minds are blown because you weren't expecting it.
Well, that's kind of what I was doing because I thought maybe...
Don't you turn now because you weren't saying that.
Yeah, but
they won't fight me. Dalakane's been in the ring with me.
I do agree with that. I think Sonny against Jesse is probably the tough, you know, could be the toughest fight for him. And I think it's the best fight in the division. But if it's there, you've got to, you know, if he's the one that turns around this week and says, I'm ready, we've got to do it.
It's whoever says yes first. Martinez put on, you know, commented on our post together saying, I'm ready. It's like, since when? What, you've seen a picture of me and Eddie and now all of a sudden you're ready? You was asking for £1 million fucking 3 months ago, you dickhead. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm here, ready, signed to go. No more negotiating between me and Eddie. He knows if we go to America, all I want is front row seats at a basketball game. Any basketball game, whatever's closest to where I'm fighting. That's the only non-negotiable. Apart from that, we're locked in. I'm ready to go. Camp's ready. My team's ready. We're ready to get going. 100% we're ready to get going.
How does it feel finding someone that can find out talk to you?
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable, isn't it? I keep going to... And as I go to say something, he does another sentence. So, no, it's great. But, you know, he's right. It's very... Normally, you have a contract with a fighter. Not always, but sometimes, you know, most of the time, where it's like, this is the money, fight 1, fight 2, fight 3. If it's a unification, it's money to be agreed. And you end up actually having a fight, then trying to renegotiate. It's so tiring. Whereas actually he said, look, this is the money I want for the unifications, this is one fight, and we've found some middle ground, and it's done. So actually, it's a great position for him to be in, to say, there's no excuse, I've signed. So it's just up to the other champions. Yeah, I mean, look, whenever you get a fighter who's had 3 World Championship defences and he hasn't got much profile, it's quite frustrating, and it's difficult to build a fighter when they're already world champion and they've had defences. But because he's willing to go into the fights that he's willing to go into, I find it really exciting. And I think, you know, people are going to love him in those fights, especially doing it abroad, because I think he's actually going to really capture the imagination of the US fight fan as well, because I think they're going to think he's mad. You know, I mean, he's like some of those fighters already, but British. And you don't really see that. You know, you go back to like Naz going over there, they didn't know what was going on when Naz was going over there, behaving, you know, probably similar to Sonny. So they're the kind of fights where you can become a superstar. Yeah, but if he goes to America and beats Bam, he becomes one of, you know, he becomes a British great, in my opinion. And I think the Americans will love him, the Brits will give him loads of respect, and that's how you become a star, taking fights like that.
And he saw his last 5 opponents got 120 wins and 5 losses. Question for both of you, where does he rank as a pound-for-pound fighter?
I said before, I think he's got the potential to be pound-for-pound #1, but you've got to beat the best in the division to do it.
And you don't go up beating a Campos, let's be real.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to fight a Campos.
But I think if he beats Jesse Rodriguez, I think you're right to say that he's, you know, arguably top pound-for-pound British fighter.
What's plan B if Martinez and
Delakian, or move up to Superfly, fight Chocolatito, fight Estrada, fight, you know, Quadrash, Rungba. I mean, I don't know. You know, I want him to fight a champion. I think it's either unification or multi-division champion. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, yeah. I think they'll be up for it, because what else are they going to do with him? You know, but I think if you know, Martinez has been ordered an issue by the WBC because he's been missed this mandatory about 3 times, and now
They should just strip him, man.
Yeah.
Get rid of him, man. And then he probably would get in the ring as not a champion. Right now he's headlocking that WBC title, man. He's not getting in the ring with me anytime soon, and you know that, Eddie. Like, so we might as well just not even mention Martinez. He's a little shitbag.
You mentioned those fights are going to happen in the US, but in terms of your profile in the UK, a lot of fans obviously went and bought tickets for Johnny Fisher, but all of those fans stayed for you, and obviously your profile.
Bosh.
They did, and often with fight nights you see fans turn up for someone and then not stay for the headline, but they all stay for you. So do you take pride in the fact that you've got that profile in the UK as well?
I think it's because I flicked the kid's hat off, to be honest. I think that's why I always stayed. Nah, do you know what it is? Like, me and Johnny, we get on. I like Big John as well. I'm close with his management team, etc. And I had like a lot of his fans aware of me, know of me, coming and speak to me on fight week, etc. So, yeah, I wasn't surprised. They also said that a lot of his fans were looking forward to him being on my undercard. So, yeah, maybe I was a little bit surprised. I do genuinely believe, though, because I've spent my whole adult life in Sheffield, as, you know, from 18 to 27, every adult face I've seen, every, you know, social event I've gone to, it's all up there. I do think I'm a bigger draw in Sheffield. I think it stops the city a bit as well, because obviously London's such a big place, so much going on, Champions League, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, if I do fight in the UK, I would love to bring it back to Sheffield Arena. I do kind of consider that as my home arena. I feel like I'd always do best there, always be the biggest profile for me there. But yeah, at the same time, I'll fight anywhere in the world. As Eddie knows, I never wanted to be a world champion and then just sort of headlock it and just fight, I don't know, the easiest fights and try and string as many easy contract wins and purses. I genuinely think I can be a great, so I want to prove it. I still think I'm a very, very, very hard person to win, you know, more than a couple of rounds against. And usually I'm kind of giving them the rounds just to sap their energy. You know, the stamina bar on fight night. Or undisputed, actually, not fight night. Undisputed. You know, just bringing it down. So then I'm taking away their risk. I'm frustrating them. They go, and then I take away the target that I gave them the round before. All of a sudden, I've hit them with 7 lead hands in the first 30 seconds of the round. And then they've got a mountain to climb for that 10-9. So I'm thinking a lot. You know what I mean? It's not just, oh, look, now he's got Sonny backed up. No, count the rounds that I stayed there and let him use his energy, and then count the rounds that, oh, Sonny definitely won that because the other kid didn't touch him. I'm doing it. I'm sort of practicing. I'm sort of, you know, working on my tactics so that when I do get in the proper hard fight, I'm very well equipped. You know, I've done the rounds. I was kind of doing some exercise in there tonight. I know I don't want to sound too disrespectful to Campos because he did come with a challenge. He caught me with a couple of shots. I wouldn't say he hurt me. I didn't think he hit particularly hard. I think his best shot was a right hand over the top and around 6 or something. But then I just stayed there, let him, you know, get excited with it because I know what I'm doing in there. I feel more comfortable in a boxing ring than anywhere else in the world, probably apart from the bedroom.
Last question, because he's literally going to talk till 3 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise,
Do you know what? I'm actually allergic to Chinese. They cook with a lot of nut oils and I'm intolerant, so maybe not a Chinese, maybe something else. Yeah, I'll sit down. I can eat, you know. People don't realise I can eat. I'll be about 63 kilos in 2 weeks. But
well done, Sonny Edwards. Well done.